Hello and welcome back to my channel. Last week I made a list of games that I am definitely going to get for myself, and today I'm going to the opposite direction. This is a video called GAMER'S ANTIHAUL. If you don't know what an anti-haul is, it was a huge trend on beauty channels last year. In those videos, the beauty YouTubers would talk about makeup releases and other beauty products that they were not going to buy and why they were going to buy them. And this is basically the same thing, except I am talking about video games. Now, these are some recently released or shortly upcoming games that have some sort of hype around them, and I am not going to buy any of these. I'm not telling anybody else not to buy them. You can do whatever the hell you please with your money. It's none of my business. Also, most of the games on this list are titles that I might actually be interested in playing. I just don't want to pay for them. First one on the list is Shadow of Tomb Raider, and it doesn't seem like a bad game at all. And Lara Croft is a badass character and I really like her. The reason why I'm not buying this one is because I haven't played the previous games in the rebooted Tomb Raider series. The first one I skipped altogether because of its kind of implied threat of sexual violence. It sort of put me off, so I didn't want to play that. And now Shadow of the Tomb Raider is continuing Lara's story exactly where the previous game, Rise of the Tomb Raider, ended. And I don't want to jump in the middle of everything. It doesn't really matter if it's the case of, well, you don't need to know what happened in the previous games in order to understand the story in this one, in order to know what's going on. For me, that is not really a plus. To me, stories and writing in the games are very high priority, and if I don't need to know what happened right before this chapter starts, then it kinda implies that the writing is not as good as it should be. Even if that is not the case, this is still a AAA release. It's going to cost somewhere around 50, even 60 euros. And for a price like that, I can't be disappointed. I can't afford being disappointed. So I'm going to play it safe and not buy Shadow of the Tomb Raider. I'm sorry, it's not you, it's me. Yeah, nothing bad to say about this game, I'm just not going to buy it. I am the android sent by Cyberlife. Detroit Become Human. Not because I don't want to. God, I really do. This is what I just told you about the writing and the stories and how I want them to be good, and this looks exactly like that. This looks exactly my kind of game. The game to end all games. But I can't play it. Because it is PlayStation 4 exclusive, and there is no intention whatsoever to ever port this to other platforms. That's kind of what the exclusive means. I don't own a PlayStation 4, and I can't afford to buy one, so this one is out of my reach. And well, fortunately for me, there are lots of Let's Plays around YouTube and Twitch, so I get to experience Detroit Become Human at least on some level, and, feel like I am part of the community even if I'm really not. So thank you to all of you who are doing Let's Plays. I really appreciate it. But it still makes me sad. To the next one, and this one doesn't have a hype around it just yet, but I am pretty sure there will be within the next couple of months or so. Hearthstone and the upcoming expansions. Not going to buy them unless there is a full-on adventure, like Knights of the Frozen Throne or One Night in Karazhan. If it's just the cards, then I'm not going to use any real money on it. I am planning to make a whole video dedicated to Hearthstone and why I'm not playing it on my channel anymore, so not getting too deeply into that one here. Even if the pre-sale is a good value, it's still 50 euros and it's a lot of money, and paying the 50 euros multiple times a year, it adds up to way too much. Also, some of the previous expansions haven't been that good. They haven't had that impact on the game that they could have, and so yeah. Not going to use any real money on that one, sorry. Hearthstone, I love you, but no. I think we're over. Next one might be a little bit controversial. Telltale's The Walking Dead final season. I'm not going to buy that one. I actually like Telltale's style. I really enjoyed Wolf Among Us, and I'm actually looking forward to Wolf Among Us Season 2. Should be coming out next year, I hope. The Walking Dead, again, is a different story, and the reason why I'm not buying the final season is, again, because I haven't played the previous seasons myself. They are very old games at this point, and I've seen Let's Plays, and I've seen analysis videos, and all that kind of stuff. I've basically spoiled the hell out of them, like all of them, for myself, and I just see no point in playing them myself anymore. And especially if these games like remember your choices and relationships from the previous seasons, then playing the final season just on its own, it's just not going to be as good an experience as it could be with like the whole series behind me. And again, with the I don't want to jump in the middle of the story, again, it's not you, Telltale, it's me. Okay, I've heard some really disturbing rumors about Telltale as well, but since I don't know the facts, they are not the factor in this decision. I'm going to settle with Let's Plays with Walking Dead final season and not going to buy that for myself. And we are getting into the juicy stuff here. Next one on the list is Agony. And for a while there, when I first heard about this, somewhere around the end of 2017, I was actually interested in it. And yeah, like I am somewhat of a horror fan, and for a little while, Agony looked very interesting. But, well, it was featured in basically every one of those like most anticipated games on 2018. And the more I saw of this, the more I learned about this game, the less I wanted it. First of all, Agony looks too much like body horror for my taste. And yeah, body horror is horrifying, sure, but to me it's mostly gross. And gross does not equal scary. So there was that. Also, I got the feeling that there was just going to be too many gross things and like shocking images just for the sake of being gross and shocking. And, well, I wasn't entirely impressed by the story or the writing of this game. It looked like the story is kind of just thrown in there to provide an excuse for all the shocking images and grossness and violence and all of that. And now Agony has been released not too long ago. I've seen plenty of reviews, and it looked like I made a right call here. First of all, the game looks really bad. Like, gameplay-wise, sure, the graphics are gorgeous if you're into that kind of imagery, but yeah, the gameplay is... nah, no. The controls are all over the place, and there doesn't seem to be that much to do in the game in general. And yeah, the story is just that, an excuse. And then, there is that very problematic representation and treatment of women all throughout the game. It is something that I do not like in my entertainment and even less in my work. So Agony is the one game on this list that I am not going to play, even if I get it for free. Like, somebody needs to pay me for playing that one. I'm not even sorry to say that. But this next one kinda scares me. I might get some shit because of this, but going to say it anyway. I'm not going to buy Fallout 76. There you have it. I'm not at all interested in the new Fallout game. None at all. It's online only, multiplayer only, shooter. None of those things appeal to me on any level. Overwatch is an exception there. But yeah, and then there is the RPG tag. I don't see any RPG elements there. Just leveling up yourself and your gear doesn't make an RPG. Like, RPG needs a role-playing element, like actual story, a character-driven story nonetheless, and you need actual character development beyond just numbers, beyond just increasing your stats. Now, I'm talking about developing new relationships. I'm talking about emotional development and behavioral changes and also like growth as a being, and I don't see any of them here. And sure, yeah, Fallout games, they have a great setting. Like, the setting is absolutely genius, and it really annoys me that they don't do more with it. Like, a great setting is not a great story. It's just a setting. And yeah, I don't see any like clear motivations. The end game and the goal of the game seems very vague and superficial. And what's it going to be? Just a bunch of players dicking around in a ridiculously huge sandbox trying to stay alive as long as possible. And then somebody comes and nukes the hell out of you anyway. Like, then what? What was the point of that? And, well, if that's your kind of game, well, good for you. Have fun, my friend. I'm genuinely happy for you, but for me, personally, that just looks like real life. Like, only with shittier color palette and fewer friends and more assholes to worry about, and at least in real life, I'm pretty sure nobody's going to nuke the hell out of me and everything I've built so far. So, yeah. Not buying this one. And that is actually the last game on my list. What do you think of this? Let me know down in the comments. Let's discuss. Be nice there, okay? Well, what games are you not going to buy, even if there is hype around them? Do you think I'm wrong somewhere? You can try and convince me otherwise. I'm looking forward to that, actually. And also, I'd like to hear your thoughts or read your thoughts on this kind of video in general. Should I make more of these or leave this whole anti-haul thing to the beauty community altogether? And, well, thank you so much for watching this one. If you liked it, let me know. I hope you have a great day and I will see you again next time.